Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to 99, Chapter 2, Sora's chapter. So yeah, as usual, I just came back from the gym and it's about 3:14 p.m. today. So a bit, well, not a bit, it's a lot later than what I usually typically record at. That's because I was going to KFC before I got back home. They got a deal on some 7 chicken. So yeah, here I am. As for what I want to talk about today, yesterday I was playing this game called Biniku no Kaori, and if you guys don't know, that's it's a Nukige with really decent story. The translation for that came out maybe about a year ago, but before the translation even came out, I was playing it with machine translation, and after the translation came out, I was already about 60% through the game. But yesterday, I decided to, you know what, I'm gonna finish the game. And I got the bad ending and also the true ending, and damn, gotta say, that's a very interesting visual novel. Well, Nukige. I really wish I did a let's play on that because it was very interesting. I really like stories where they kinda tell you the perspective, but at the end they kind of screw you. I think in the tags on VNDB, it's usually called the unreliable narrator, but it's not like it's an unreliable narrator for this one. It's actually something a bit more devious. So a character in that game actually lies to you throughout the whole game. Heck, even before the game started, which is pretty insane. But yeah, enough about me talking about Biniku no Kaori. Maybe at some point I will let's play that at some of these days. But who knows? I kind of like let's playing games that I never really played before. Not including the Rant series, because the Rant series is something that I really want people to enjoy. That's why I let's play it even though I've already played it the first time. As for Amayui, I guess Amayui is just something that I really enjoy the gameplay of. But yeah, let's talk about the last episode recap for 99 Chapter 2. On the last episode, we actually got to see the 3 characters, or the 3 people that were, meeting up in the shrine. 1 was the commander, 2 was the ghost, and of course number 3 is Kosaka-san. I don't know whether or not I want to call Kosaka, or Haruka. I feel like I'm just gonna call her Kosaka for now. Noah, at this point, I'm so used to calling Noah. That's why whenever I see Yuki, I still keep calling her Noah. But I believe I called Kosaka Haruka back then, on the first chapter. But yeah, we met up with those guys. Noah also came to our rescue, sorta, because it seems like those 2 guys are just chunibyos talking about each other being stupid. But that doesn't mean that they don't have, the abilities that they got from their artifacts. They are still users, and I do think that the commander believes in what in his own, delusions of grandeur, in his own chunibyo. Chunibyos are usually people that are not, what's the word? They're harmless, right? But when you actually gave them power, they definitely can become very dangerous because they believe in their own delusions of grandeur, as I said. Without power, they can only be illusions. But with power, they can actually realize their goals and whatnot. So yeah. Also the fact that he's being voiced by Sugita Gintoki. That's a plus for me because I really like Gintama. So yeah. After that, we of course got to see Sora being very meek. She's very scared about what happened and whatnot. And the opening starts. That's about it. I'm gonna say this every time I start a new recording, but I'm definitely gonna be biased in this particular chapter because Sora is being voice acted by Pia's voice actor. So without further ado, let us continue.
ロードするよ。ロードしたよ。みーや早く遅刻するよ。
I am interested in how they're gonna tackle us being in a romantic relationship with Sora, though.
急ぎたくないじゃん。準備できてるならもう行こうよ。
As I said, I don't necessarily think that Kakeru is the same. Like, I don't think he thinks the same way as I do, but I do believe that he thinks of Sora as his little sister, right? In regards to the little sister part, I do think we are in the same mindset. So it would take a really pivoting scene to make Kakeru change the mindset of looking at his little sister into someone that he wants to romantically be connected with. So I guess we'll see what's gonna happen. Urged on by Sora, I sling my bag over my shoulder and head to the front door.
行くよ行くよ。
Sora grabs me by the arm and pulls me outside before I even have time to finish putting my shoes on.
おお、いい天気。いいじゃん。照れんなよ。お、今小声でなんつった？
I disentangle myself from Sora and we start walking to school. It looks like she's still not over the events of yesterday, and now I'm the one who has to suffer for it. She hasn't left my side since waking up. She even tried to go to the bathroom with me. Talk about moronic.
お昼買ってくよね。
See, the fact that Sora also wants to go to the bathroom along with us means that she doesn't really see us as a potential partner too. So, I don't really see Sora being the one that initiates this incest relationship. Or maybe it's a red herring and this game is not gonna go into the incest route. I don't know.
私の分も買っ。くそ。
We stopped by the convenience store and grabbed some sandwiches and drinks. Even though we left home early, we still run into one person I really didn't want to see.
おっと。
Sora stops in her tracks. Kusaka-senpai is standing in the middle of the sidewalk as though waiting for someone. Okay, for Haruka, I think I'm gonna keep calling her Kosaka. For once, she doesn't have her boy toys with her. There's no point in standing around glaring at each other. I also feel like we'd be giving in if we detoured around her, so I decided to just walk straight past her. As we brush by, Kosaka-senpai looks like she wants to say something to us. But I only spare her a brief glance, so I can't be sure. Chalking it up to my imagination, I resolutely keep going. However, Kosaka-senpai runs to catch up with us. She dashes past us and silently waits a short distance ahead. She's looking straight at us. But I keep pretending I'm imagining things and walk past her again. However, undeterred, she runs past us once more, and this time she meets my gaze. She even looks like she's gathering her courage to say something.
なんすかね。
俺たちに用があるみたいだな。
声かけた方がいいんでしょうか。
そうしないと延々と繰り返すことになりそうだな。
Sighing, we stop in front of Kosaka-senpai.
なんか用っすか?
Damn, her voice lines take quite a while. It just sees an O there, but she was like, you know, kind of grimacing. Not grimace. What's the word? I don't know what term you'd use to describe someone who's like ing. Kosaka-senpai averts her gaze and takes a few steps back. You're the one who wanted to talk to us, so what's with the wimpy attitude? Well, I guess I am acting a bit confrontational. Right now, she's in her timid personality, not her empress one. I take a deep breath to calm myself, then ask her again.
何か用があるんですよね。
She steps up to Sora, pushes something into her hands, and runs off. What is with that girl?
なんなの？
手紙か？
ぽいけど。ラブレター？
一瞬俺も思っちゃったけど、なわけないよな。
だよね。なんだろう。何怖い。
読んでみれば？
What?
なんでだよ。
カミソリとか入ってたら怖い。
さすがにそんな陰湿なことしないだろう。
Sighing, I take the envelope and cautiously break the seal. There's no razor inside, just a neatly folded piece of paper. I pull it out, unfold it, and skim the contents.
やっぱお前宛てだな。
マジでラブレター？
読めばわかる。
She probably apologizes about what happened last time.
怖い。読んでよ。
自分で読め。
I push the letter into Sora's hands. Reluctantly, she starts reading.
昨日はごめんなさい。私では止められませんでした。謝罪文？
みたいだな。
よければ連絡くださいって ID まで書いてある。話したいことあるって。
どうすんだ？
どうすんだって、どうすればいいの？
明確に敵対しているわけだし、無視もありだとは思うが。
So she is aware about what's happening when she's in her alter ego persona.
代わりに俺から連絡してみてもいいし。
でも本気で謝ろうとしてたらそれ失礼じゃない？
妙に律儀だなお前。
昨日高坂先輩だけは心配してくれてたんだよね。話してあげたらとか言ってくれてたし。
Was that in her other persona?
ああ、そういえばそうか。
Oh, sorry about that, Kakeru.
だからちょっと私連絡取ってみる。
そっか。反対はしないけど十分気をつけろよ。
おーい。まあメッセージのやり取りだけなら大丈夫っしょ。
Sora stuffs the letter in her bag. Maybe she's not as hung up on yesterday's events as I thought. I'm still worried about her, but if she hears me admit that, she'll start teasing me. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
学校着いたら送ってみよっかな。リアクションあったら報告します。
了解。九条にも伝えておかないとな。
いいよいいよ、私から伝えておく。
そっか。なら頼む。
クールに頼むとか言いながらも内心動揺している兄なのであった。
は？
残念だったな。このネタを話しかけるきっかけに使おうという宮子先輩への下心、私見逃さない。
Well, I was looking at his monologue and there was no monologue, Sora. So I guess his worries for you is actually, you know, a priority right now compared to wanting to get closer to Kujo.
おい、今小声でなんつった？おい。
くだんねえこと言ってないで行くぞ。
はいはい。
We resume our walk to school. I'm honestly shocked that Kosaka-senpai wants to talk. Like Sora said, there probably isn't any danger if they're just texting, so I'm not quite worried per se. But I can't help wondering how things will play out. For now, I'm leaving this in Sora's hands. So that commander guy is also like a student body in our school, right? I think. Homeroom and morning classes pass by in a flash, and suddenly it's lunchtime. While Sora explained everything to Kujo in our group chat, she still hasn't mentioned how texting Kosaka-senpai went. It's possible she hasn't gotten a reply yet, but it's also possible they're just having a long conversation. I shift around restlessly through afternoon classes, eagerly waiting for the bell to ring. Finally, Sora sends me a message right as homeroom is ending.
はーい、今日はこれで終わり。日直さん、起立、レイ、お疲れ様。気をつけて帰ってね。
As I sit back down, I pull up my phone and check my texts. I don't think I've ever told you guys, but back when I was in Japanese class, we actually do this stand and bow thing too. I have no idea why Japan still does that. I assume it's like just a culture thing at this point. But yeah, we definitely don't take it as seriously as they do in Japan. Because you know, a lot of people are still talking when we do that stuff. Though maybe in Japan it's also the same thing. Because what I consume in Japanese media here might not necessarily reflect reality. I don't like where this is going. It looks like things are going to be complicated, so I suggest to Kujo and Sora that we meet up at the gate. They both agree and I put my phone away.
かっけるみんなでカラオケ行くけど一緒にどう？
パス。
付き合い悪いな。クラス替えしたばっかりなんだからさ、もっと交流深めていこうよ。
妹と約束があるんだ。
じゃあ妹さんもご一緒に。
パス。
もう、あ、九条さんはどう？
ごめんなさい、アルバイトが。
また振られちゃった。仕方ないな。
じゃあな、陽一。
はいはい、じゃあね。
I wonder if karaoke is like one of those things that people really do often in Japan. I don't think in my school karaoke was that big of a deal. Usually what we do is just go out, maybe go to the arcade. The arcade is probably the same in Indonesia and also in Japan. It's not that big though in Indonesia, but it's still a pretty popular hangout spot. The movies are still pretty popular back when I was still in high school, but you know, that's about 12 years ago. So I don't know how it is with the current Zoomer generation. I get up, glance over at Kujo, and exit the classroom. I weave between the students on cleaning duty and head to the main gate. Sora's already waiting at the gate, and when she spots me, she waves me over. I don't bother to wave back.
早いな。
ホームルームすぐ終わった。みやこ先輩は？
まだ。友達と話してたし、もう少しかかるかもな。
そっか。あ、来たよ。みやこ先輩来た。
I turn around and see Kujo. She mimes that she's going to the bicycle lot and jogs off. A few minutes later, she returns to her bike.
ごめんなさい。お待たせしました。全然。今来たとこ。
端に寄るか。ここだと邪魔だし。
そうだね。
We scoot over to the wall. Kujo puts down her bike's kickstand, and I finally bring up the main topic.
会うことになったんだって。
そうなの。
Sora takes out her phone, taps the screen a few times, then shows it to us. It's a log of her chat with Kosaka-senpai. The last thing she sent was, "Can we meet in person, please?"
考えさせてって言ってあるんだけど、どうしよう。会っていいのかな？
Can we meet with all three of us?
なんで会いたいんだ？
同じユーザー同士、仲良くなりたいってあるよ。
No, considering her skill or ability, she can convert you into one of her followers. I don't trust her enough to do that.
そう言われた。
Wait, what'd you say? Wants to be friends? No.
仲良くね。
嘘かな？騙すつもりかな？直接謝りたいともあるけど、今日ほぼ一日中やりとりはしてたんだけど、なんていうか敵みたいなのはなさそうなんだよね。
That could be just an act though, Sora. She scrolls through the message log.
最初にごめんなさいって言ってね、その後めっちゃ話しかけてくんの。趣味の話とか、日常会話的な。
Yeah, see? That's... I think she actually turned into her second personality after the apologies stopped there. Like, people don't just go straight into their hobbies and whatnot after being in an apologetic tone.
お前の距離感測りかねてる感じの返信が生々しくてムズムズするな。
Agreed.
そうなんすよ。 あっちも仲間探してるみたいだから怪獣したいのかなとか思って警戒してたんだけど、にしては会話下手すぎない？
Not the other persona though.
なんだか自分がどういう人間かを必死に伝えようとしているように見えるね。
That's
趣味
only
の話もそうだし、食の好みとか。
that's only if you're actually looking at it from a positive perspective.
そうなんだよね。だからわかんなくて先輩が何考えてるのか。裏はなくて本当に仲良くなりたいのかな。
I don't trust that, Kujo.
リグなんだっけ、リグ。
Beta.
ベーダ。
そういうの抜きにして個人的にってことかな。わからないけれど勧誘には見えないね。そういう流れに持っていこうとしていない。
No, it's very easy for people to act different when you don't really see, you know, a lot of the, what is it, like minute differences that people do when you talk to them face to face. Heck, just listening to someone talk can actually change how you perceive them based on their tone and pitch, right? It's especially very easy to mask how you feel and how you act in a text because it's very hard to distinguish how people are acting that way. Unless you know the person specifically, of course.
じゃあ会ってみてもいいのかな。
Maybe that's why I also appreciate visual novels a lot more than I do novels. It's a lot easier for your imagination to go off track when you read a novel because you're kind of voicing the specific character on the novel with your own like imaginary voice. And also sometimes yeah, it's just very easy to be very off track with how the novel how the author wants to portray a specific person without a lot of these extra added things like voices, character sprites, and also monologues.
九条、今日はバイトだっけ？
Very easy to understand the main character, of course, because we read the monologue a lot. But very difficult to portray or understand other people that's not the main character if they don't have their own perspectives in some of the sub-chapters.
同席はできないけれど、待ち合わせ場所をナインボールにしてもらえれば、何かあった時に対応はできるかも。
Like even with the voices and even with the sprite changing in visual novels like this, it was really difficult to try to understand Kujo too, right? Like the reason why she went crazy, because we didn't really know her character that well yet. But of course, at the end of chapter 1, she told us that the fact that she did what she did was because she wanted to uphold her, or yeah, our version of herself, right? She wants to look perfect in front of our eyes. But she was just stubborn about it.
ナインボールで会いましょうって送ってみてみ。
Because in my own interpretation, it was the fact that she knew that she killed someone and she wanted to, you know, just shoulder everything by herself. But turns out, she wants to actually keep our image clean about herself. At least that's what she said, right? So what I thought was actually wrong.
わしっぽい顔。昨日あんなことあったばかりだし、お兄ちゃんとしては心配だよね。なんだよ、シスコンかよ。
ぶっ飛ばすぞ。
ちょっとマジトーンで言うのほんとやめて。割とビビるからマジで。
ま、情報は欲しいしな。空が大丈夫だと思うなら止めはしない。
私の判断が正しいかっていう問題はあるけど、じゃあ送ってみる。
俺も同行するって伝えとけ。
Mm-hmm.
なんだよ、やっぱりシスコンかよ。
ひねり潰すぞ。
真顔で言うのやめろ。泣くぞ。いいのか、泣くぞ。
いいからさっさと送れ。
いい。
Pouting, Sora looks down at her phone. Meanwhile, Kujo watches us bicker with a grin. I get the feeling Kujo's starting to think I doted my little sister. I guess it's not a big deal, but I do wish she'd see things for what they are. I swear I'm not a siscon. Seriously, I'm not. People who say shit like this, they're just like fucking sundaris, dude. Kakeru, you just gotta accept that you're, you know, that sort of person. But then again, it's very difficult for people to accept who they are because it takes a lot of what is it? It takes a lot of awareness to be able to say that yeah, I'm something like I'm X and then not be ashamed of it.
送ったって早っ返信早っもう早きこと光のごとしだったナインボールでいいけど2位には来んなって
Then reject her.
は？
男の人怖いんだって
Then get Kujo to ask you then, to come with you.
はあ？
She might not necessarily be lying there.
いやわかるよ兄上が言いたいことわかるよ
毎朝あんなに男をはべらせて怖い？
だよねわかる兄様の怒りわかりますわよ人格が変わるんだよね
She's probably afraid that she might use her other personality to tempt us. That's probably what she's afraid of.
あそうそう
So, maybe what Kujo said was actually right. Maybe this is still her normal personality and that she's very desperate about wanting to show us what she's truly like.
もともとの人格は男性が苦手なのかなそれなら嘘はないけれど
ああ、それなら辻褄は合うが。
最初に見た時も男の人に囲まれて怖そうにしてたような気がしないでもないかも
ここに来て一気に疑わしくなったな。
とにかく会ってみるよ会えばわかるだろうしみやこ先輩もいるしできる限り注意しておくね
Okay.
来るなって言われてるなら別の席にいるわけにもいかないか。やばそうな気配になったらすぐに呼んでくれ。
おーいまあ任せなさいって他の2人のこととかバッチリ掴んでくるから
あんまり調子乗んなよ。
はい分かっておりますとりあえず OK って返事しちゃいます先輩まだ学校にいるのかな
ああ、ここで話してると鉢合わせるかもな。
送ったじゃあさっさとナインボール行きましょい
九条、空を頼むな。
新見くんは近くまで一緒に行く
We should probably go like, you know, stand by somewhere near.
いや、俺はもうちょい学校に残って司令官を探してみる。活用できるかはわかんないけど、名前くらいは知っておきたいよな。
This works too, I guess.
じゃあここで解散だね呼んだらちゃんと来てよね絶対だよ
Man, I must be someone that's more of a worrywart compared to Kakeru. Because I would still be thinking more about Sora than the commander. But objectively thinking, like, these two should be fine, yeah. But, you know, like, I personally would definitely station myself somewhere near them.
わかってるって。適当に調べたら近くまで行く。
絶対だからねよしみやこ先輩行こ
Well, okay, so he's still thinking about Sora, but he's definitely a lot more cool-headed than I thought.
う新見くんまた後でね
ああ、気をつけて。
After seeing them off, I returned to school. I passed by Kusaka-senpai on the way inside, but despite the encounter sending a shiver down my spine, she just keeps her head low and passes by me without saying anything. Her followers aren't around, so I guess she really is going to 9-ball alone. If her primary ability is to charm men, is her personality switch a side effect of that? Or a different ability entirely? As I said, because she names herself the Queen of Eden, no, I do think that she already has a personality switch before she got the artifact. Sure wish I knew she could charm girls too. If not, that'd put my mind at ease. She probably could, because remember what Sora said on the previous episode. A lot of the girls, or a lot of the students in her class was acting weird before she sits down, right, and changes her personality. So I would think that she could actually also control girls. I stopped to watch Senpai pass through the school gates, and then I re-entered the building. I climbed the stairs to the third floor. Peeking into all the classrooms, I walk from one end of the hallway to the other, but I don't see anyone resembling either Commander or the hooded girl. In retrospect, it might have been smarter to just wait at the gates and watch as people left. I guess my only options now are to check out the clubs or to go around asking the third years if they know a guy who looks like Commander. Though if I'm too blatant about this, it might put him on guard. My phone starts vibrating in my pocket. Figuring it's Sora, I take it out in a hurry. It seems she wants to meet at 9 ball to discuss something. Her message concludes with an out of place but cute sticker. Come to think of it, I should probably update her on what's going on with Kusaka-senpai. We did name her our leader after all. I explain the situation to her and ask if we can meet somewhere else. Then come to the park. Once again, it's a curt message with a cute sticker tacked on. I seriously can't figure out this girl. I tell her I'm on my way and cut short my search for a Commander. I arrive at the park 10 minutes later. No sign of Noah as far as I can see. I go to sit down on a nearby bench, but then freeze when I realize it's the same bench we found a petrified girl on. I walk to the next bench over and settle down there. Where is Kuho Girls Academy again? Is it further from the park than I am? If so, I could see it taking Noah some time to get there. Here. A murmur comes from behind me. I turn around to see Noah step out from behind a tree. What is she doing? What's with that weird entrance? And what does she mean by right on time? We never agreed on a time to meet. I guess she's already got into her chuny persona. You do realize anyone walking by can see you there, right? In fact, even if I don't turn around, it's gonna be obvious to anybody who sees us that the two of us are talking. But if I point that stuff out, she'll probably just do something even crazier. So I'll play along. Sighing, Noah walks over and sits beside me. Yeah, you don't actually care if people see us talking, do you? Knew it. Even though she is in her chuny persona, she's actually very logical. Kind of, respect her for that. She takes out her phone and fiddles with it for a bit. A second later, my phone buzzes. I obediently take out my smartphone and look at her message. Oh, nice. Makes it easier to find them at school.
エンプレス以外はまだ特定できていないのね。
Correct.
ああ、多分3年だとは思うんだが。
そう。私はフードの女を調べていた。少なくとも私と同学年ではないようだけれど。ただ、クホーの生徒ではないとまだ断言はできない。顔が半分程度しか見えないし、判断材料が少なすぎる。
俺も女の方を調べつつ、司令官の特定を急いでみる。
ええ。本名や住所が特定できれば、交渉材料くらいにはなる。
その程度でビビる奴らなら助かるんだがな。
名前や顔を隠すのは後ろめたい証。個人情報が彼らへの抑止力となるのなら徹底的に利用すべき。
With that, Noah gets to her feet.
もう行くのか？
ええ、要件は以上よ。
ありがとう。有効に使わせてもらう。
礼なんて必要ない。私たちはバルハラソサイエティの仲間なんだから。
If I was younger, Noah, your whole shtick would probably make me like you a lot more. But I'm way too old for that stuff. After what she no doubt thinks is a cool line, Noah turns her back to me. She walks off without so much as a backward glance. She really likes that aloof act. Though she did go out of her way to explain in person something she could have just texted to me. So she must actually be pretty social at heart. At the very least, she's a nice girl.
さて、
Well, back when I was in my chuuni phase, I was definitely talkative. It's just that people think that I'm weird when I'm doing shit like that. So, yeah, people don't really talk to me unless they have to. Well, I was a lot more popular after high school, of course, but in middle school, I was definitely more of the awkward and socially inept kid. I should go somewhere closer to 9 ball. As I get to my feet, I feel my phone vibrate again. I sure am popular today. This time it's from Sora. She doesn't need help, and it seems her meeting's over already. Seriously? They met up to talk for like 5 minutes?
ほんと忙しいな。
Grumbling to myself, I pick up my bag and leave the park.
いらっしゃいませ。
I wave to Cujo and give her a hello. So she takes me to Sora's table and I sit down.
お疲れお疲れ。
お疲れ。
I was thinking that maybe Kosaka senpai might have used her ability on Sora. That's why it only took her 5 minutes, but she doesn't seem different right now.
ご注文決まりましたら。
コーラください。
かしこまりました。少々お待ちください。
After giving Cujo my order, I turn to Sora.
どうだった？
収穫ナッシング。
やけに早かったよな。
10分くらいかな、話したの。って言っても9割無言だったけど。
なんだそりゃ。
自分で言ってたけど、異常なコミュ障なんだってさ。女の子ならまだ頑張れるけど、男の人いるともう一人の自分に頼っちゃうって。
So she can change arbitrarily?
もう一人のか。
で、頑張ろうと思ったけど無理そうだからごめんなさい帰りますって。
もう一人の自分には頼らなかったのか？
直接聞いたわけじゃないけど、できる限り人格を変えたくないっぽい感じだった。後でメッセージ送るって。
See, I don't know whether or not that other persona that she has is actual DID or not. Because I study psychology and DID is usually something that's not manufactured. It's usually something that the person themselves don't even know exists usually. Because they switch their personality and they switch their memories along with them. At least that's what I learned in psychology, so... This is less of a personality switch and more so just a persona, yeah. You know, basically putting on a mask and you acting out another person.
結局目的は分からずじまいか。
そうなるね。でもやっ ぱり悪い人ではない気がするな。ごめんなさいって普通に謝られたし。
Sora gazes out the window and sips her drink. If all she wants is to find friends, we might be able to convince her to cut ties with those Rick Veda guys.
とにかく連絡待ちかな。何話したいのかわかんないけど。お待たせしました。
ああ、ありがとう。
みやこ先輩にも報告するね。なんかあったらまたグループで送る。お願いします。いらっしゃいませ。
A new customer walks through the door and Kujo hurries off to greet them.
飲み終わったら出るか。
あれ、ご飯食べてこないの？
まだ早いし、長居するのも迷惑だろうし。ここ出て、駅前で適当に食おう。
What a very, very Japanese thing to think about. Definitely, if you were here as an Indonesian, you wouldn't think about other people. You just stay and lounge there for, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours. I know me and my friends usually order like the minimum stuff, and we would we would be in the table for, yeah, like I said, 3 to 4 hours.
オッケーオッケー。
おごる。
How very considerate.
え、マジで？
昨日と今日頑張ったからな。
じゃあ昨日もおごれよ。
今日の分でやっとおごってやるかゲージが溜まったんだよ。
何それ、おごったらゼロになるの？
なる。100がマックスだ。
バカなの？
あー、おごる気なくなったわ。割り勘ゲージマックスだわ。
やだ、今日のお兄ちゃん超かっこいい。抱いてほしい。
きっしょ。
はあ、今なんて言いました？はあ。
何食いたい？
カレーの気分。
じゃあそこ一行くか。
Knock off Ichibanya. Well, I guess Ichibanya is a bit more on the pricey side. Definitely would break the bank if you eat that every day.
やったー。ちなみにここをおごってもらうとどうなります？
ゲージがゼロになってカレーは割り勘になる。
ケチこせー。
お前が文句言うたびにゲージが減少していくぞ。
お兄様太っ腹、ステーキ。
Wait, I don't know if they're actually saying knock off Ichibanya as in knock off, you know, an actual knockoff, or if that's just if that's supposed to be the name of the curry place. They might actually be using curry Ichibanya there, but not use the actual name.
割り勘だな。
なんでだよ。
I ignore Sora and finish off my drink. When the sun goes down, we head out. I actually love Japanese curry a lot more than I like Indonesian curry. Indonesian curry is way too, like, soupy. I prefer it more thick. We eat dinner at Knockoff Ichibanya and start heading back. As we're passing by the station, Sora tugs my sleeve.
ニーニー、私の荷物部屋に置いたままでもいい？
ん？ああ、帰るのか。
うん、そろそろ帰る。おとんがいつまでかけるのところにいるんだってしつこいし。
お前のことほんと好きだよな、おとん。
おかげでお小遣いがっぽりっすわ。
俺はプラモ一つ買うために必死にお小遣い貯めてたのに、お前は人形とか好きなだけ買ってもらってたよな。
あ、ニーヤンのプラモセット、何？エアブラシとか。
勝手に触ってないだろうな。
触ってないよ。てかもう触れないし。もう
They
ないから。
sell them?
捨てちゃったよ、お母さんが。
What the fuck?
はあ？
ニーニの私物物置に突っ込んだでしょ。部屋の模様替えの時で、いい加減邪魔だから捨てちゃおうって。
Wow, fuck her! Those could actually be sold for a lot of money.
いやいやいや。
マジで。
Sorry about
止め
that.
たけど学校行ってる間に捨てちゃったっぽい。
うっそだろ。
Man, this is why parents should understand their kids' hobbies. Those hobbies are not cheap, guys.
マンションにちゃんと持ってけばよかったのに。
初めての一人暮らしだからあえて持っていかなかったんだよ。趣味に没頭する余裕ないよなって思って。
なんかそんなこと言ってた気がする。
言った。そのうち取りに来るから捨てんなよって言った。
Wow, they really just threw away a lot of money.
そのうちってもう1年じゃん。
ずっと作ってなかったから、プラも作る欲求が薄れつつ。
Well, if it really took you that long and you still didn't want to go back to them, it didn't really spark joy for you too, Kakeru. See, I used to have the same sort of what is it, like spending issue about buying figurines and stuff. But as I grow, as I grew up, I definitely find money more of a resource that I need compared to using it for my hobbies and whatnot. And I guess I just fell out of love with figures and stuff. Of course, if it's a series that I really, really like I really like 13 Sentinels, so when I finished 13 Sentinels, I bought most of the figurines. They're pretty pricey, but I was saving up for them, so I could still buy them. And I'm pretty happy with my 13 Sentinel shelf. I even double dipped on the game. I got both the PS4 version and the Switch version. And if they even gonna port it on PC, I'm probably gonna triple dip and buy it again. Heck, if they have a physical version for PC, I'm gonna buy the limited edition if there is one.
じゃあいいじゃん別に。
よくねえよ。え、ちょっと待って。エアブラシだけか？俺の作品は無事なのか？マジかよ。
なんかあれだね。ネットのコピペ思い出した。奥さんが旦那さんのコレクション勝手に捨てちゃうやつ。
They're throwing away money. The very least they could have done was actually check how much those things they're gonna throw away cost.
俺のストライクディスティニーフラッグセブンソード。
I assume he's talking about Gundam there, because I've never actually watched Gundam. I'm not really into mechs and stuff.
うわマジでショック受けてる。おーよちよち元気出してね。
Sora ruffles my hair, but I don't even have the energy to push her away. They really did it. I wasn't amazing at it or anything, but I poured my heart and soul into those models, and now they're all gone.
なんかもうどうでもよくなってきた。
腹いせに私の荷物捨てないでよね。
しねえよ。
パンツかぶるくらいは許す。
That's disgusting, Sora.
アホか。死んでしまえ。
ひどい。
まあいいや。仕方ない。1年も放置した俺が悪い。
Agreed. But man, what I'm thinking is not really the amount of effort we put on it. It's the money. Those actually pay for quite a bit. Like, I'm actually trying to sell the figures that I still have lying around. And I kid you not, some of them still go for 200, 300 a piece.
切り替え早っ。
怒っても悲
It's
しい。
just I haven't been able to find the buyers for
出
them.
てこないからな。グッバイ。俺のスターダストメモリー。
あ、これ切り替えられてねえな。ショックのあまり頭おかしくなってんな。どこ見てんの？空？星そんなに出てないよ。大丈夫？精神崩壊しちゃった？
何もかも虚しい。じゃあな。気をつけて帰れよ。
はいよ。一応お母さんにニーニが絶望してたって伝えとく。
You know what I would be pissed off about though? When Sora, I think this is in the first game when Sora was saying that she deleted our save data for Monster Hunter. I would definitely be pissed off if my memory card or something along the... Well, nowadays we don't really have a memory card, but in the PS1 and PS2 era, I would really be in utter despair if my memory card suddenly got, corrupted. Or if someone actually deleted one of the save files to make up for, some space for another save file on my PS4 or PS2, sorry. I would be very devastated. Like, those things don't cost that much, but the amount of time you put into them is insane. Like, I still remember I have like the maximum amount of time that can be shown on Kingdom Hearts. And yeah, if that save file was gone, well, it's gone now because I don't have a PS2 anymore, but back then I definitely would have been, I don't know, I would have thrown a tantrum for sure.
それは大いに伝えておいてくれ。
bless like cloud save datas nowadays.
任せろーい。じゃあね
Sora waves and runs off to the station. I watch her until she's out of sight, then start the long trek back home. But then again, as I grew up, I don't really put as much like emotion into gaming as I did back when I was a kid. So sometimes even if I do think that, yeah, my data can be gone and it's okay, like, I don't put as much emotion as I do as when I was playing as a kid anymore, I guess. Man, I'm beat. Back home, I throw my bag into a corner and change into my pajamas. Once I've changed, I turn on my laptop and open the bag of chips I bought on the way back. Don't buy chips, guys. Those are really high in calories for just not a lot of food. They are one of the most unhealthiest pieces of snack ever. Instead of buying chips, buy some popcorn or something and make your own, like, coating. Maybe I'll watch a movie to ease my heartache.
ずいぶんと景気の悪い顔をしているわね。
Space tears open and Sophie pops out. I can't even catch a breather when I'm home alone. I'm just way too busy today.
ユーザー探し。芳しくないよね。
いや、
I take my hand off the mouse and close my laptop.
ユーザーを4人見つけた。
あら、4人も。
1人は仲間にできた。1人は敵か味方か微妙。残りの2人は確実に敵だ。
へえ。
I can't tell how she means that. Is she impressed or not? All she does is flap her tiny arms and put on that goofy grin. So it's impossible to know what she's thinking.
4人。この枝はずいぶんと展開が早いわね。別の枝ではまだ何も進展していないのに。
枝？
別の可能性のことよ。意外と空が優秀だったのかしら。そばに置いたのは正解だったわね。
It was the right decision to keep her by your side. Sure, I mean, that was still my choice though in this branch.
何の話だよ。
It's not like she was the one that made Sora remember, right?
察しが悪いわね。気が向いたら説明してあげるわよ。
Yeah, she's actually giving really big hints about the fact that she can go into different timelines and whatnot. But I guess Kakeru's not really the type that would go into super sci-fi stuff. Or, you know, sci-fi is probably not really his main interest. She's sighing at me, but I don't even have the energy to argue. Honestly, I just want this conversation done with.
助けてくれないか。素性を特定したい。
2人の敵のね。
そう。
I pick up my phone and show Sophie the picture Noah sent me.
髪の長い人の名前は分かってる。高坂遥先輩。分からないのは残りの2人。真ん中の男とフードの女。
ぼやけていてよくわからないわね。なぜ敵対したの？
ユーザーの理想郷って言ってたっけな。今の世の中をユーザーの力で支配したいらしい。
あらあら、支配？馬鹿げた理想を語るわね。
Why is that foolish?
俺もそう思った。そのためなら人殺しも容認するらしい。だから敵対した。
一番嫌いなタイプだわ。いいわよ。手伝ってあげる。
助かる。もしかしたらこいつらのどっちかが魔眼のユーザーかもしれない。
根拠は？
根拠ってことでもないな。
I point to the hooded girl.
こいつ顔を隠しているのはやましいことがあるからじゃないかって思ってた。
That's fair.
こっちの男はなんつうか薄っぺらいっていうか、主導権もフードの方が握っているっぽかったし。
We don't know what his powers are though.
だからもし魔眼のユーザーがこの中にいるなら、フードのこいつが一番怪しい。
なるほどね。一応聞いておくけど、日常的に接点はないわよね。
Nay.
ないな。あったのは昨日だけ、一回きり。男の方は同じ学校みたいなんだが、フードの方はわからない。
そう、わか 少し手こずりそうだけれど1日もらうわよ。
ああ、頼む。
暦が悪いからあまり動きたくはないのだけれど、魔眼のユーザーの疑いがあるのならそういうわけにはいかないわね。
また出たよ、暦が悪い。なんだよそれ。
占いよ。
そういうの信じるタイプか？
信じるも何も、私の占いは当たるのよ。
So, can you give me a prediction then? You didn't really mention this at all in the first game.
ああ、そう。
何よその気のない返事は。まあいいわ。じゃあ私は行くわ。
Maybe her definitions aren't really specific, and they're kind of random about what she's gonna get shown at.
あなたにしてはよくやったと褒めてあげる。じゃあね。
Sophie opens her mysterious portal and vanishes through it. She's a real master of backhanded compliments, that one. I have no idea how much help Sophie will be, but she seems confident at least. I'm sure she'll at least find out their names. I'm still not sure what use that information will be, but anything is better than being totally in the dark. At any rate, there's nothing more I can do today. Ah, I just remembered. Kusaka-senpai said she'd contact Sora again. I guess all we can do now is wait for that.
さて。
I reopened my laptop and looked for a promising movie to watch. It's been a while since I've spent the night alone. I better take the time to enjoy it. I mean, it does get pretty tiresome when you're always being with people. I do enjoy my own privacy or personal time myself. I ignored the boring lecture while I fiddle with my phone underneath my desk. Man, every time we go to school, we never pay attention in class. As I said in the last episode, if this was my school, you would have fucking dropped out, Kakeru. Unless you're like a genius. As promised, Kosaka-senpai contacted Sora again last night, and apparently they talked quite a bit. Sora sent me screenshots of the whole conversation. From the looks of it, she learned a good deal about Rigveda. Maybe I shouldn't have bothered asking Sophie, since Sora already beat her to figuring out Commander's name. Commander is Takamine-kun from my year. I never talked to him before, but he apparently was watching me for a while, and thought I might be a user. Originally, he spoke to me through the forum, not realizing we were classmates. But after he noticed similarities between what I was posting and what was happening around him, he began to suspect who I was. As I mentioned yesterday, I'm terrible at talking to men, so when Takamine-kun confronted me, I switched to my other self. My other self showed an interest in the world Takamine-kun spoke of, one where we would be free to use our powers however we wished, and eventually he convinced me to join Rigveda. Yes, Senpai is the type who gets talkative when she doesn't have to speak to someone face to face. I mean, there are some chatty messages, or these are some chatty messages. But the most interesting part is, at first I was glad to find others sharing my circumstances, but yesterday's event shocked me. I could never condone murder the way they did. This message. If Kosaka-senpai is telling the truth, then she started to distrust Commander, Takamine-kun, and the hooded girl thanks to the events of 2 nights ago. While I can't be certain, it feels like she's debating whether or not to defect. At the very least, this version of Senpai is. One of the other members of Rigveda might be the user of the evil eye, and even if that's not true, they're at least condoning murder. The more allies we have, the better. If we play our cards right, we might be able to win Kosaka-senpai over. We can get her to leave Rigveda and join the Val whatever society. I was thinking it'd be nice to name our little band. You know, get a little team spirit going and all. But I didn't expect us to end up with something weird like Noah's idea. I know I'm the one who called her out our leader, but I'm kinda regretting that now. If she wasn't our leader, Kakeru, you wouldn't have, you know, she wouldn't have actually joined, or she wouldn't have been as cooperative, in my opinion. I put my smartphone away when the bell rings. We stand and bow, signaling the end of class.
かっけるご飯食べましょう。
あ
I pull out my convenience store lunch from my bag and put it on my desk. As I'm unwrapping the sandwich, my phone buzzes. I take a bite of lunch before picking it up to check it. There's something I'm curious about, so I'm going to go scout for a bit. I promise I won't do anything dangerous, so don't worry. Is it gonna be for Takamine-kun? She gonna stalk him? Scout what? I glance over at Kujo and our eyes meet. She looks as worried as I feel. Sora said she won't do anything dangerous, but what exactly is she doing?
何今の何
何が
九条さんと見つめ合って。
ちょっと目が合っただけだって。
そんなこそこそメッセージのやり取りしなくていいじゃん。僕も混ぜてよ。
いや、メッセージは妹から。変なの送ってきたからおいおいってなっただけ。
九条さんと家族ぐるみの付き合い、すでにそこまで進んでいたなんて。
何言ってんだお前。
実際どうなの？九条さんと。
付き合ってる。
あ、かけるがそう言うってことはまだ何もないね。安心した。
Fair enough, Yoichi. You know him enough.
なんだよ、ちょっと乗ってこいよ。
本当に付き合ってたらかけるははぐらかすよ。そういう卑怯なタイプだよ。
Agreed, Yoichi.
卑怯ってひってえな。
Ikkyo, I think, is like a coward. But I guess Pansy works the same way. While I'm joking around with Yoichi, I text don't do anything reckless to Sora. The message shows up as read, but Sora doesn't reply. She's not an idiot, so I don't think I need to worry about her making the same mistake again. If she's doing this in school, you know, like stalking Takamine, should be fine because there's a lot of people.
またスマホいじって。本当は九条さんとしてんじゃないの？
妹だって返事しただけ。
付き合い悪いのに家族には優しいんだな、かけるって。
集団行動が苦手なんだよ俺。
Same as me actually. I prefer groups that are more like 5 to 8 people max maybe. Because in large groups, it's very difficult for you to like talk to everyone. Like in large groups, there'd be like smaller groups being made anyway, right? So what's the point of being in a large group? Might as well be in a smaller group, but it's a more tightly like you know, we're more compact and we can talk to everyone instead of having our own cliques.
コミ証明。
お前はコミュ力の化け物すぎる。
それほどでもないよ。知り合いは多いけど。
Acquaintances. That's what I also have too back then, Yoichi. I have acquaintances. I don't have friends. I don't have a lot of friends.
お前の交友関係ってほんと。
Popular. A light bulb goes on in my head. I bet Yoichi knows Takamine. Takamine doesn't look like the kind of person he'd hang out with usually, and they're in different grades to boot. But it's worth asking at least.
何？変なところで止めないでよ。
高峰って知ってるか？
高峰？
そう、3年の。
男？
ああ。
レンヤのこと？
え？
Seriously? Yoichi knows him? He even knows his first name, so he must actually know him pretty well.
これ、こいつ。
I show Yoichi the picture. He scrutinizes it for a bit, then his face lights up in recognition. Holy shit, Yoichi, you're amazing. I can't believe you actually know this guy.
レンヤじゃん。何この写真？隠し撮りみたいな。
ああ、まあ隠し撮り？この人のこと気になってる子がいて、その誰って聞かれてて。
Man, Kakeru, the thing about Japanese people, I don't know if this is true in real life or not, but when Kakeru is nervous or, you know, when he's lying, he definitely sounds like this.
ああ、まあ隠し撮り？この人のこと気になってる子がいて、その誰って聞かれてて。
Right? You guys catch that, right? He's definitely very nervous when he was doing that line. I don't know if that's only in Japanese media so that it's easy for you to pick up on cues like that, or if it's also like the same way in Japan. Like, you know, in reality.
気になるって。レンヤのこと？誰って、あれだよ、クホーの子。 クホーに知り合いいたんだ。紹介して。
そのうちな。
Sorry, Noah. I had to dig myself out of this hole somehow, and you were the best option. I'm so sorry.
っていうか、レンヤに女の子の知り合い？何この子たち、両手に花じゃん。マジかよ。
仲いいのか、高峰と。
小さい頃はね。
マジか、幼馴染か。
今は会えば話すくらいかな。仲いいかって言われると微妙。連絡先は知ってるけど。
ちょっと教えてもらってもいいです？
いいけど勝手には教えらんないよ。本人に聞かないと。
まあそっか、だよな。
事情話していいなら聞いてみるけど、今すぐ。
いや、それはまずいかな。自分の存在を気づかれたくないらしいし。
シャイだねその子。覚悟決まったら言ってよ。レンヤに伝えるから。
おう、そう伝えておく。
っていうかもう一回写真見せて。
I bring up the picture again, and Yuichi snatches the phone from my hands.
あのコミュ障なレンヤに女友達なんて。一人は顔わかんないけど、もう一人はかなり可愛い。誰この子？
さあ、陽一が知らないなら俺もわからん。
見たことある気はするな。1年の女の子はチェック済みだから3年生だね。
チェックってお前何してんだ？
それくらいたしなみでしょ。たしなみ。久しぶりにレンヤに声かけてみようかな。この子たちとお知り合いになれるかな。
俺の名前出すなよ。
分かってる。こう見えても口は硬い方だから。
I don't trust you, Yuichi. Grinning, Yuichi returns my phone. Sorry for lying to you, Yuichi. But if I tell him about Kosaka-senpai, things are gonna get complicated. The fact that Yuichi knows Sakamine is a real stroke of luck. But if Takamine finds out I'm investigating him, he'll grow wary. No, wait. Maybe he's expecting that. Hell, those guys are probably trying to find out who we are too. Either way, now we know Commander's real name. That alone feels like it really lifts the pressure on me. All that's left is to find out if he's the user of the evil eye. There's also that thing Sora went off to scout. So I'm thinking we should have a group meeting to discuss what we learned today.
クホーの子って可愛い？
まあ、
ほー、いいな。なんでレンヤばっかり。
お前なんてよりどりみどりだろ。モテるくせに。
女の子の友達が多いだけだよ。なかなか関係が進展しないタイプなの、僕。
手当たり次第手出してるからだろ。
Probably.
それは昔の話でしょ。一回修羅場ってからは反省しました。
一回やらかしてるのがありえねえんだよ
な。仕方なかった。青い衝動を抑えきれなかったんだ。あわよくばみんなとそういう関係になりたかったんだ。
Man, I wonder if my school is just like too clean. I don't think anyone in my school actually thinks about sex all that much. They think about romance, of course, but they didn't really think about, straight up sex. Maybe like kissing, maybe some cuddling and stuff like that, but that was it.
同じ男として気持ちはわかる。
わかってくれるか？妹さん紹介してください。
I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them are clearly more horny than other people, but they're not gonna like have sex with their girlfriend, is what I'm trying to say. Like most of my friends, I guess, are serious.
お前みたいな奴には絶対紹介せん。
お兄さん、そこをなんとか。
絶対に許さん。
I continue eating my sandwich in between bouts of inane conversation. Looks like we're in a holding pattern until school ends. I should probably let no one know about the meetup as well.
高峰蓮也、それが私たちの敵の名。
We meet up with Noah at 9 ball and tell her everything Sora and I learned. Pujo's working again today, so I'll give her a summary over Lime later tonight.
彼のマナを知ったことで、司令官という仮面を剥ぐことができた。大きなアドバンテージとは言えないけれど、小さな第一歩ね。 マナあ、真の名的な。
お前の方はどうだったんだ？
ああ、私
気になってたこと、すっきりしたのか？
ね。
Sora sips her drink while she collects her thoughts.
なんかね、はるか先輩、昨日からそう呼んでるんだけど、ニーニたちに見せたのが会話の全部じゃないんだよね。世間話をしたがるっていうか、めっちゃ話したがるっていうか、雑談も結構したんすよ。
Man, I really don't think I can be friends with Haruka. I don't really like to talk a lot. I mean, I like talking when there's a topic that I'm currently interested in, and as long as the momentum or we can still naturally go into a different topic, I wouldn't mind talking, but yeah, sometimes I feel like people talk too much, and I would be one of those people that I'd be like, I want to do something else, so I'm gonna AFK for like 3 hours because I'm bored.
でね、失礼な話ではございますけど、もしや友達いないのかななんて思いましてね。それでね、気になってお昼見に行ったんですよ、教室まで。
男に囲まれてたんじゃないか？いつも。
いやいや、
Oh,
そうだ
sorry.
ね。ぼっちなんすよ。はるか先輩、完全なるぼっちなんす。
朝とは真逆だな。
そうなんす。むしろ無視は言い過ぎか。空気扱いされてるというか、なんというか。いじめでもされているの？
Could be. I was thinking about whether or not it was her artifact at first, but that could also be true.
そういうドロッとしたのは感じなかったな。単純に友達がいないって感じ。
じゃあ、あのモテ方はやっぱり能力か。能力を解除するとぼっちになる。
そういうことなのかな、多分。
Well, I guess girls wouldn't really want to talk to her too much because she's definitely a beauty, right? So I believe girls are a lot more like menacing when it comes to making friends inside of their own cliques. As for a guy, she has trouble talking to them, so yeah, I can see her being lonely or being a loner.
で結局、気になってることってのは友達いるかどうか？
そうそう。どっちが本当のはるか先輩なのかなって。朝の女王様とメッセージでやり取りしてる優しい方。
I mean, all of those are probably part of her.
彼女の能力は聞けなかったの？まだ聞けてないですね。実際会うと全然喋んないんだけど、メッセージのやり取りだと一方的な感じ？すっげー話すから相槌くらいしか打てないんすよね。
I mean, you're just someone who's pretty considerate, Sora. Sometimes when I feel like people are going too fast and I don't know what the hell they're trying to talk about in their messages, like I said, I'd be one of those people that would cut them off. Like, not as in cut off the friendship, but I'm like, yo, can you like just tell me what the hell you want to tell me instead of going roundabout about all this stuff?
ある意味、気を許してるのか？空には。
なのかも。でね、私もさ、少しは友情芽生えるじゃん。だからさ、一人でお昼ご飯食べてる絵面がね、胸に来ちゃうんすよね。
Then go to her class and invite her for lunch. You know, before you go there, message her first.
彼女は敵、同情は禁物。分かってますよ。でもね、はるか先輩、仲間になってくれそうな気はするんだよね。
A possibility if what she's doing now is not an act.
というわけで、
Sora plants her hands on the table and sits up straight.
提案があります。ええ。はるか先輩をね、明日のお昼に誘ってみようかなって。
Well, she discussed this with us first, so that's smart, Sora.
一緒に食うってことか。
そうそう、みやこ先輩も一緒に。何のために？もちろん親睦を深めるために。
で、仲間に引き込んでみようってことか。
そうそう。でもとりあえずそういうの抜きにして仲良くなってみよっかなって。どうすかね。
Well, hopefully it will. Hopefully nothing bad will happen.
現状特に有効な手がない。相手がどういった手段で理想郷を作るつもりなのかも全くわからない。今は相手の出方を伺うしかない。であれば情報を得るために敵を怪獣するのも決して悪手ではない。握手？その手は何？
Sora hurriedly pulls back her hand. She's blushing a little.
お前、今ガチで勘違いしただろ。
いえ、違います。ボケただけです。
間違えただろ。
いえ、違います。しつこいです。いいかしら。はい。
Noah sighs and takes a sip of her tea.
高坂遥のことはあなたたちに任せる。学校が違う私では手出ししにくいから。ウィス、明日お昼誘うのは OK ってことでいいんだよね。
ちゃんと九条にも許可取れよ。
分かってる分かってる。
I glance over at Kujo, who's serving a nearby table. She probably heard us mention her since she gives us a smile before heading into the kitchen.
とりあえず私からは以上っす。はるか先輩とはいい関係を築けるんじゃないかなとそう思っております。私からは特技はフードの女について調べているけれど何もつかめていない。
俺はあれだな。下の名前を教えてくれたの俺のクラスメイトなんだよ。幼馴染なんだってさ、高峰と。
わ、そうなんだ。世間は狭いですな。
んでだ、話の流れで何、高峰のこと気になってる九方の子がいるから詳しく教えてくれって感じになったわけで。
九方？私？
Noah scowls at me. I prepare myself for her to yell at me, but it seems I'm worried over nothing. She merely takes another sip of her tea and plays it down.
今まさに彼のことを調べているのだから気になっているのは間違いではないわね。
じゃあ結城の ID 教えるのはありか？
なぜ？
事情を伝えていいなら高峰に確認した上で ID を教えてくれるって話になってる。
気になっているというのは敵としてではなく異性としてという意味で伝わるのよね。
Yes?
まあそうなるな。
却下
ですよね。
それさ、実際に結城先輩がやり取りする必要なくない？だからさ、作っちゃえばいいじゃん。架空の九方の女の子と新しい ID。
ああ、確かにそうだな。
却下。え、ダメ？たとえ敵であっても他人を騙す嘘は許容できない。
Man, you're kind of inflexible, Noah.
へえ、手段は選ばないタイプかと思った。
いいえ、人殺しも厭わない相手だろうと。いえ、だからこそ私たちは潔癖であるべき。私たちは正攻法で攻める。道を踏み外せば奴らと同類になってしまうから。
Well, not wrong, but aren't humans not really all that different in the first place, though?
なんか自分がひどく小さい人間に思えてきました。
Well, wanting to be different, of course, is something that's respectful. But I personally, I don't know. That's actually a very interesting point there, Noah. I wonder what I would have done. Sometimes people think that, Like, even though people are clearly knowing that they're breaking the law, one of their excuses would be something along the lines of, everyone else is doing it. Everyone's doing the same thing, right? So who cares? That's why I was thinking along the lines of, yeah, why not? Like, what's the problem if we're the same? But she makes a good point. If you want to be different, you gotta be different in everything, huh?
あなたの案自体は決して悪くなかった。ただ、私たちのやり方に合わないというだけ。気を落とさないで。
Like, she's very idealistic. I feel like I'm an idealistic person, but at the same time, a lot of the realities of the world made me kind of have to tone down my idealist, like, mentality. So that's why sometimes I fall into that way of thinking about, yeah, everyone's doing the same thing, so it's no problem that I'm doing the same thing too. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should look for someone like Noah if I were to find, like, you know, a significant other. Someone who can make me keep believing in my own ideals. Because that actually struck a chord with me.
じゃあとりあえず高坂先輩と仲良くなってそっちから聞き出すしかないな。
そうね。空、頼めるかしら。
ウィス、やってみるっす。
では、始めましょう。作戦名、ハルモニアの調べ。
Though I don't think I want my significant other to be a chunie.
え、何？なんて？
和解と調和の女神よ。じゃあ、私はこれで引き続きフードの女を調べてみる。
She pulls out her wallet and leaves the money for her tea on the table. You know, I actually think it's kind of charming that she doesn't even explain it, you know? Well, she's explaining it, but she's so caught up in her own delusions that she's not even ashamed of it. She then grabs her bag and strides out of the cafe. So Noah is kinda like going up in my ranking for characters that I do like. And she doesn't even have the like bias that I have for Sora here, which is the voice actor is being someone that I like.
いい人ではあるんだけど、まだキャラがつかめないな。
正義感が強いってのは分かった。
それは間違いないね。
まあ、なんだ。なんとかの調べ？
Harmonia.
ハルモニア。
そうそれ。あんまり無理はすんなよ。
Oh wow, he's done? That was fast. He didn't say be careful there.
大丈夫。みやこ先輩がダメって言ったら中止するから。もう心配はかけません。
そう言ってお前はやらかすタイプだからな。
大丈夫だってば。もっとおそらちゃんを信頼しなさい。おい、黙るなよ、おい。
今日はどうすんだ？
ああ、帰るよ。
そっか。
おやおや、寂しいのかな？泊まってほしいのかな？まあ、ニーミったらしいっすか？今、舌打ちしましたね。舌打ちしました？
I ignore Sora and take a sip of my ginger ale. Honestly, I'm worried I'm making Sora do too much, but seeing as Kusaka-senpai wants nothing to do with me, I can hardly take over. Even though I sort of fight those bastards to protect Sora, I'm making her do all the dangerous work again. I've got to find some way that I can contribute.
調べてあげたわよ。
Right as I get home from dinner, Sophie pops into my room. I shrug off my jacket and sit down in the bed.
男の方は高峰蓮也。自宅はここからそんなに遠くないわね。
Interesting. We didn't know where he lived.
自宅まで特定したのか。
名前はもう分かっていたみたいだし。できる女は一歩先を行くものよ。
I appreciate that, Sophie. She waves her tiny arms in what I imagine is a self-satisfied manner. But I have to admit, she has the skills to back up her arrogance. It's kind of depressing to think she's keeping this close an eye on me. But I guess now isn't the time to be complaining about that.
女の方は
もちろん調べたわと言いたいところだけど
Her aura of confidence vanishes and she sighs.
さすがに情報が少なすぎるわね学校が一緒だったりあなたがよく行くお店で見かけるとかそういう接点があれば調べやすいのだけど
So we need more info on her. I guess her divination wouldn't work unless we have more info, even though we have, you know, her face technically. But then again, it was also a blurry picture.
手がかりが写真だけじゃさすがに厳しいか。
この町子供だらけじゃないしらみつぶすには多すぎるこれじゃあさすがの私でも苦労するわねさすがの私でもけれどレイヤって男とこの女は知り合いなんでしょ
Mm-hmm.
ああ、そうだな。あ、一つ聞くの忘れてた。
何
リグベーダって聞き覚えあるか？
何それ
ないかな。奴らがそう名乗ってるんだ。組織名というかチーム名というかソフィーのセフィロトだっけ？もしかしたら因縁があるかもしれないと思ってさ。
ないわねまったく初めて聞いたわそんな単語
じゃあソフィーと同じ異世界人って線は限りなく薄いか。
異世界人ね
Sophie falls silent. Something about what I said gave her pause. In order not to interrupt her thoughts, I stay silent until she speaks again.
まあいいわレイヤーを監視していればいつかフードの女とも接触するでしょう特定は時間の問題ね
頼む。俺たちじゃ監視なんてなかなかできないし。
空の能力ならばたやすいでしょう
見破られた女の方に通用しないやつがいるっぽい。
あらそう対抗力の高いアーティファクトを所持しているようね
Impedance?
対抗力？
そのうち話してあげるわよそれじゃあねあなたもせいぜい頑張りなさい
Google, I need your help. What the heck is impedance? I hear the word being used a lot, but I've actually never took a look at the actual, you know, definition of it. The effective resistance of an electric circuit or component to alternating current, arising from the combined effects of ohmic resistance and reactance. Okay. So she's manipulating like electric currents to make it to mask her presence? With a parting shot, Sophie disappears into her dimensional portal.
せいぜいって協力者にかける言葉かよ。
Sighing, I flop down onto my bed. I guess if we leave the girl to Sophie, she'll eventually find out her name and address at least. Once we know that, our opponent won't have their veil of mystery to hide behind. While I can't think of any immediate way that'll help, I imagine we'll have more options once we know their identities. If Sora and Kujo manage to get Kusaka-senpai to tell them Rick Veda's plans, that'll be even better. Even if one of them turns out to be the user of the evil eye and they plan on killing more people, as long as we know their plans in detail, we can stop them. We're still in the information gathering phase before the final showdown. However, this is the most critical juncture. If we can win ourselves an early advantage... Actually, I probably know what the hell impedance is. I did learn electro back when I was in middle school. I just don't know the name in English, I suppose. I just realized something awful. It was a total fluke that I found out Takamine's first name. That was really Yoichi, not me. And when you look beyond that, zilch. Man, I need to work harder. I get up and change out of my uniform. I hope we don't end up in another crisis, but if we do, that'll be my time to shine. If nothing else, I can act as a shield for Sora, Kujo, and Noah. See, Takeru is actually thinking in a very good manner in this timeline. I really hate Takeru's mentality in the Kujo route.
あ、いた。先輩、はるか先輩。こんにちは。こんちゃーす。こんにちは。じゃあ行きましょっか。外で食べません？中庭にベンチあるじゃないっすか。あそこでどうすか？うん、いいと思う。はるか先輩もどうすか？じゃあ出発！はーい。みやこ先輩、能力のこととかはひとまず抜きで、世間話で交友を深める感じで。分かってる。いただきます。いただきます。いただきます。一回こういうのしたかったんだよね。外でお弁当。空いててよかったね。ラッキーでした。あ、強引に誘っちゃいましたけど、はるか先輩本当に大丈夫でした？私もいつも一人で食べてるから誘ってもらえて嬉しかったです。ありがとう。
She needs to speak louder. I can barely hear her.
とんでもないっす。みやこ先輩もお付き合いいただきありがとうございます。
I'm thinking maybe I actually need to up her voice, but she's already at 100. If I up the master volume to 100, everyone's voices would be overpowering. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it is intentional that she's very low, but my goodness, it's very, very low.
いえいえ、私もお外で食べるのは初めてだから。みやこ先輩、お弁当も自分で作ってるの？うん、冷凍食品に頼ったりもするけど、自分で作るよ。
Hey, frozen stuff is convenient.
すごいなあ。はるか先輩も？私はごめんなさい。なんすか？この前うまく話せなくて、今も。ああ、いいですよ、そんなの仕方ないですよ。チャットではうまく話せるんだけど。いいんです、いいんです。その分私が喋り倒すんで。あ、うざかったら言ってくださいね。みやこ先輩、ちゃんと止めてくださいね。わかりました。喋り倒すって言ってもあれですけど、話題がすでに行方不明ですけど、3人の共通の話題っていうと、なんだろう、アーティファクト。あ、そう、はい、そうです。はい。にゃーこ先輩、こいつアホだなって顔しないで。してないよ。そんな風に思ってないよ。もういいや。リグベーダの人たちとはるか先輩、仲いいんですか？それほどでも。そうなの？アガスティアのアニメのサイトの名前って。
Her voice is barely even like it's like the same volume as the BGM. Holy shit. I don't think I can like I don't think I can have a conversation with Haruka. I'm not patient enough to wait until she finishes whatever she's saying. Like in real life, you know?
メビウスのファーサイトですよね。はい。そのサイトで司令官とは交流があったんだけど、高峰君とは知らなくて。
うんうん。
同じ AF ユーザーって分かって仲良くはしたかったけど、
危険な思想を持ってると分かってそう思えなくなってきたと。
大丈夫ですか？ごめんなさい。普段こんなに話さないから。
I'm curious about her parents and stuff. You don't talk this much? What's your family like? Like, I don't talk that much either with my family, but I talk a lot with, you know, I talk a lot with my friends back in the day, so I'm pretty social as a person. Because, you know, like, to make up for what I'm lacking at home, I do so outside, right? But I guess that's just because my personality is like that. I guess she's not the type of person that would try to pursue what she's lacking.
弱っ。
I calm down, Sora. Well, you're at least honest about it. Real friends are actually honest with their friends, whether or not they, you know, like what you say.
すみません。私ちょっとあれです。ツッコミがきついんで気をつけます。フードの女の子も白線の生徒なんですか？わかんないです。サイトを通して知り合ったとは司令官高峰君が言ってましたけど。じゃあ高坂先輩もあの女の子のことはあまり知らないんですね。あの日初めて会いました。
へえ。リグベーダもできてそんなに経ってないのかな。
それもちょっと AF ユーザーが迫害されない世界を作るってその思想には共感はできるんだけど、まさか人殺しも容認するとは思っていなかった。はい。
で、私に声をかけたと。
はい。このままでいいのかなって思ってごめんなさい。
お茶飲みます？
大丈夫です。掲示板に書き込むように言われていて。掲示板？なりきりのですか？はい。そこで相談をしたら他の AF ユーザーの目にも止まって仲間を増やせるって。
Well, that worked in the other route, but not necessarily us finding out about their clique, just about Kosaka-senpai.
相談を餌にして他のユーザーを釣る気なんだ。
だと思います。はじめは仲間が増えるならって思ったんです。でも仲間になることを拒んだ。ソラちゃんのお兄さんに。
ああ、敵対心むき出しにしましたね。
はい。敵か味方かゼロか1か、考え方が極端だなって思えて。 時もおっしゃっていましたね。でもあの時はもう一人の私で、私は優柔不断で悩んでいるけど、もう一人の私は理想郷を作るのは賛成みたいなこと言っていたような。そうなんです。もう一人の私は二人に協力すると決めているみたいで、力関係という表現は適切ではないかもですが、今の高坂先輩とあの時の高坂先輩、主導権はどちらが？普段は私です。でも私すぐ逃げちゃう癖があって、もう一人の私に頼っちゃって、それで結局もう一人の私が決めて行動するように最近はなってます。今の状態で司令官たちに会って乱暴なことするなら協力できないっていうのはやっぱり難しいです。高峰君と話すときはつい頼ってしまって。男子が怖いか。原因とかあるんすかね。あ、これ聞いたらまずいです。小学生の時いじめられて。ごめんなさい、気軽に聞いたらあかんかったやつだ。いえ、明るい話できなくてごめんなさい。男子へのトラウマ、新見くんもやっぱり怖いですか？ソラちゃんのお兄さん。はい、そうです。優しい人ですよ。いや、ダメっすよ、みゃーこ先輩。あの人目つき悪いっすもん。そうかな。制服もちゃんと着ないし、友達にソラちゃんのお兄ちゃんちょっと怖いねとか言われましたもん。怖いかな。普通だと思うけど。いや、まあ慣れちゃえば無害だってわかりますけどね。意外とぼーっとしてるし。よし、はるか先輩、うちのクソ兄貴で男性恐怖症を克服してみますか？いやね、司令官たちとの付き合いが不安なら相談してみるのもありだと思うんですよ。お兄さん。
This might be the starting point for the third game because the third game covers Osaka senpai. I was wondering how the hell we are gonna be able to actually talk to this girl, but yeah, this is probably the starting point for her route.
そうですそうです。身内の私が言うのもなんですけどね、やるときはやる男なんです、あいつは。そうだね。この前の事件も身を挺してかばってくれたし、普通はあんなことできないよね。事件、ユーザーが暴れた。はい、炎から守ってくれたんです。
She talks in fragmented sentences and really slow and, very low that I don't know sometimes when to actually click her lines. ちょっとあ
あれっすね、課題評価しすぎ的なイメージ膨らませ的な。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。本当になってくれるかもしれませんよ。先輩にとって白馬の王子様に新見くんが。あまり親しくなかった私のことを必死にかばってくれたくらい正義感が強い人ですから。うわぁ、みゃーこ先輩もニーニのこと過大評価しすぎじゃないっすかね。そう？ソラちゃんだってそうなんじゃない？いや、私はまあ小さい頃から助けてはもらってますけど。だよね。そうだ、先輩。今夜新見くんに許可をもらえればですが、新見くんのお部屋でみんなで夕食をとりたいなって思ってるんです。お部屋、男の子の部屋。大丈夫っすよ。何にもない部屋なんで、エッチな本とかもないので。ソラちゃん。はい、すみません、黙ります。よければ一緒にどうですか？相談とかは特に意識しなくていいので、今みたいに交流会として晩ご飯もぜひ一緒に。無理強いはするつもりありませんので、遠慮せずに断ってくださいね。やっぱり急に男子とって言われてもなかなか難しいですよね。行きます。大丈夫っすか？無理してないですか？ちょっと怖いけど、そんなに信頼できる人なら、頑張ってみたいです。お友達になりたいです。はい、じゃあお昼終わったらニミくんに聞いてみますね。うわー、楽しみ。みんなで買い物行きましょうよ、放課後。ニーニは抜きで。ニミくんかわいそう。いいんすよ、ニーニは待たせておけばいいんすよ。はるか先輩、放課後集合ですよ。はい。というわけで、
おう
高坂はるか先輩です。どうぞ。パチパチパチ。
Kusaka-senpai timidly steps into the living room. A few days ago, we were enemies, but now here she is in my apartment. You're amazing, Sora. She used to be so shy whenever I wasn't there with her, but she's really bloomed into a charming, sociable girl recently.
成長したな、ソラ。
何いきなり。いや、なんなの、肩ポンポンすんなよ。なんなの。じゃあ晩ご飯の支度始めるね。しばらくお待ちくださいませ。お願いします。先輩、はるか先輩、ここ座って。はい。ニーニあっち端っこ。近いと先輩緊張するから。
Sora directs me over to the far corner of my bed. Trembling, Kusaka-senpai sits down next to Sora. She looks more terrified than nervous. This is unrelated, but there sure are a lot of girls at my place. Until recently, Yoichi was the only person to have come here, but in a short time, it's become a hangout place for pretty much every girl I know. This isn't really the time to be basking in my newfound popularity, but I can't suppress a small smile.
何にやけてんの？キモい。
にやけてねえよ、ぶっ飛ばすぞ。
ほら、そういうこと言うと先輩怯えるから。男子怖いって言ってんでしょ。
すいません。
Holy shit, this is awkward. Well, I was also in an awkward position when I was listening to those three just talk, Kakeru. At least now I can voice act your monologue. She really is terrified of guys. I'm amazed she was able to bring herself to come hang out at some guy's apartment. Man, what should I do?
いった。なんだよ。
Unable to take the awkward silence, I poke Sora in the back and look at her pleadingly, hoping she'll break the ice. She picks up on my desperation and turns back to Kosaka-senpai.
先輩、なんか飲みます？あ、大丈夫だよ。はーい。冷たいお茶です。お、あざーす。ご飯もうしばらく待っててね。はーい。あ、動画。ご飯できるまで動画見てましょ。動画。
Wow, throwing in the towel already? You can't think of anything so you're resorting to internet videos?
おい、なんだその目は。ほら、準備して。PC の準備。
はいはい。
I get off my bed and put my laptop on the table. Once it's on, I turn it over to Sora.
何がいいかなあ、アニメ見ましょうか。アニメ。何がいいです？やっぱメビウス？好きなアニメとかあります？じゃあ適当に。なんかこれ、なんかの映画。
Sora clicks the first video on the recommended list and hits play. The three of us stare at my tiny monitor. This is so weird. I should be perfectly comfortable here in my own room, but it just feels freaking awkward. Kujo and Sora both told me not to mention Rig Veda if I can help it, but I didn't think we'd end up having literally nothing else to talk about. Well, Kosaka-senpai still seems scared of me, so I guess it's better to just take things slow. I think we're running out of time though, Kakeru.
お待たせしました。
If the time length is the same as how it was in the first game, I think we only have until, I don't know, the 8th or the 9th? We'll see, I guess. I believe we get notice about the second victim somewhere on the 30th, if I'm not wrong. It's barely been 20 minutes. If anything, Kujo finished faster than I expected. Today she made salad, soup and spaghetti with an eggplant tomato sauce. There's also warm buttered bread to go with it all. This is the kind of spread you'd see at a fancy Italian restaurant. My tiny table is covered with delicious looking food. However, I alone have been relegated to the distant bed, my food piled on my own private tray. Kinda sucks, but Kosaka-senpai looks like she'll freak out if I get any closer. And there's no room left at the table anyway.
みやこ先輩作ってくれてありがとう。いただきます。どうぞ召し上がれ。
いただきます。
はるか先輩も遠慮せず。いただきます。
We pick up our forks simultaneously. I decide to start with the spaghetti. This is good.
うまい。
めっちゃうまい。
よかった。高坂先輩もいかがですか？美味しいです。とってもありがとうございます。でも言わせちゃいましたね。ごめんなさい。
Sora's wolfing down her food while Kujo watches all of our reactions and Kosaka-senpai daintily tucks in. Everyone's a little awkward around each other, but you could call this a harmonious meal. I guess the three girls bonded during their lunch date. I'm the odd one out. It's really awkward being the only one not part of the group, especially in your own house. I agree. I mean, I'm not that torn up over it. Well, maybe a little. Well, if I was you, Kakeru, I'd probably just get that DS and play a game or something. And you know, just sometimes listen to what they're talking about.
先輩って普段どう過ごしてるんですか？あ、はるか先輩。え、私。
What'd you say? Free time.
お家でどう過ごしてらっしゃるんですか？
あ、そら、ティッシュ取って。
今はるか先輩が話そうとしてたでしょうが。
え、あ、すみません。
It's not even our fault, damn it! Sora glares at me and Kujo dons a patient smile. It's not my fault. That silence had stretched on forever. I just thought it'd be nice to fill the silence with something while Kosaka-senpai organized her thoughts. That's all. See, this is why I said you should have just played a game, Kakeru. Your help isn't really appreciated right here. But I got the feeling Sora will just yell at me more if I say that, so I'm keeping my mouth shut.
で、何してるんですか？うちで。漫画ニーニもよく読むよね。
ああ、うん。
あっちの棚持ってるのあります？全部ニーニと結構気合うんじゃない？
かもな。俺単行本派ですけど、先輩は連載を追ったりしてるんですか？
You're trying too hard, Kakeru. She's not gonna talk to you.
そらティッシュ取って。
God, he couldn't take the silence. I take the napkin from Sora's hands and wipe the corners of my mouth. Fine, I see how it is. You don't want to talk to me. Fine then, I'll just suck in a corner or something.
大丈夫ですよ、はるか先輩。うちの兄目つき悪いけど噛みつきはしませんよ。ごめんなさい。緊張してしまって。全部じゃないですけど、いくつかは毎週読んでます。だってさ。何偉そうにうなずいてんの？喋れよ。
いや、話したら無駄にプレッシャーかけちゃうかなと思って。
ごめんなさい。
あ、いや、嫌味っぽく聞こえたらすみません。ただくつろいでほしいだけなんで、苦手なのは仕方ないですから。
ねえ、意外と優しいんすよ、あいつ。
あいつとか言うな、何様だお前。
妹様だ、敬え。
俺もこいつのこと苦手なんで、ほんと気にしないでくださいね、先輩。
おい、今なんつった？おい。大丈夫ですよ。喧嘩してるんじゃなくて仲良し兄弟なんです。
いえ、仲良くないです。
おいおい、照れんなよ。おい、先輩の前であんまりきついこと言えないからってその目やめろ。下げすむ目を直ちにやめろ。ほら、仲いいんです。羨ましいなって思うくらい。はい。 今のやりとりで羨ましいとか思います？
そら、ティッシュ取って。
お前何枚ティッシュ使うんだよ。箱ごと持ってけよ。
A relaxing, or actually kind of rowdy, dinner continues on. We mostly talk about inconsequential things. Sora will bring up a topic, and Kosaka senpai will timidly answer, with Kujo sometimes stepping in to lend a helping hand. Haruka senpai is so clearly uncomfortable, but I feel like she's doing a lot better already. Our plan to win her over is proceeding smoothly. However, despite Sora and Kujo's injunction, I can't let her leave without at least asking a few questions about those Rig Veda guys. I understand why Sora wants to take things slow, but the group's other two members could be murderers. For all we know, they've already selected another target. Exactly. Kakeru, you're on a roll. They could even be after Kosaka senpai herself. We can't afford to wait.
ごちそうさまでした。
ごちそうさまでした。ごちそうさまでした。おさまつさまでした。
ところで、
I purposely wait for a lull in the conversation. Sora apparently guessed my intentions since she shoots me a sharp glare, but I ignore her.
高坂先輩。これからどうするつもりですか？リグベーダとして活動を？
ちょっといいやん。
迷ってるんだろ？だから空に声をかけた。こちらから切り出さないと先輩も話しにくいだろ。
Well, that's a fair assumption.
まあ、そうかもだけど。
無理に話さなくていいんで、とりあえず俺の考えを聞いてください。多分ですけど、話を聞く限り、高坂先輩はリグベーダを離れる方に傾いているんだと思います。奴らは好戦的だ。その思想に賛同できない気持ちはよくわかります。高坂先輩が協力できないって言った途端、あの敵意が高坂先輩にも向く可能性があります。
そっか、そうだね。協力できないって言った途端に敵認定。かなり過激な考え方をしているから。
ああ、そうなると俺たち側についているかいないかに関わらず自動的にあいつらの敵になっちまう。そうなったらもちろん俺たちもできる限りのことはします。だがあまり無責任な約束もできない。
相手の能力も分かっていないものね。
あれだけ自信たっぷりに敵意を向けてきたんだ。まず間違いなく攻撃的な能力だよな。こちらにも自信たっぷりな勇気がいるが、あいつもあいつで自分の能力を話したがらない。そもそも経験から違うかもしれない。あいつらはすでに人に使って試しているかもしれない。命を奪えるほどの力を。
ちょっと兄やん、不安にさせたいの？
そういう意図もないこともない。
おいおい、
警戒は必要だろう。そういう相手なんだ。高坂先輩は他人にあまり強く出られないですよね。それなら無茶するよりは現状維持もありかもしれない。
Yeah, I agree with Kakeru here.
このままリグベーダに？
仲間と認識されている状態なら安全かもしれない。絶対にとは言い切れないが、敵対するよりはよほどいい。俺たちはもう気づいてるとは思いますが、できれば先輩も仲間にとは思っています。けど無理強いはしません。そういう選択も全然ありだって、そう言いたかったんです。自分の身の安全を一番に考えてくださいね。それとまだ言ってませんでしたよね。ありがとうございました。空から聞きました。捕まった時先輩だけは心配してくれたって。
うん、
してくれた。
先輩がいてくれなかったら空はひどい目に遭っていたかもしれません。ありがとうございます。
先輩。
あ、照れてる？顔真っ赤。いいえ。
There's a sudden shift in Senpai's demeanor. Don't tell me she switched personalities.
感動いたしましたわ。そのような温かいお言葉。かける様は他の殿方とは違いますわね。
かけるさんも。
これ完全に変わっちゃったわ。せっかく頑張ってたのに。
Senpai flashes us a bewitching smile. She really is the polar opposite of how she was seconds ago. How am I supposed to deal with this?
私の数々の無礼な振る舞い、謝罪いたします。それと、かける様の寛大さに感謝を。
ああ、はい。
そういうわけではありませんが、どうぞ遠慮せず、何でも聞いてくださいな。
何でも？
ええ、何でも。
じゃあ能力について。
秘密です。何でもって言ったのに。何でも聞いてくださいとは申しましたが、何でも答えるとは申しておりませんよ。
Fair enough.
秘密があればあるほど、かける様は私のことを気にしてくださるでしょうかね。
Not really. This Kosaka senpai is hard to deal with too, but in a very different way than her normal self. She's got a lot of confidence, and she's pretty twisted with words.
他には何かございますか？
私からいいですか？
ええ、どうぞ。
ユーザーの理想郷、賛同しているんですよね。
ええ、あの時申した通り、能力を好きに使える世界、魅力的ですわ。とても。
それは人を傷つける能力でも好きに使って良いと考えているということでしょうか？
それについてはノーですよね。暴力は嫌いですもの。AF ユーザーは何者にも束縛されるべきではない。その一点で我々の見解は一致している。
では全面的に支持しているわけではないと。
そうなりますわね。司令官さんにもゴーストさんにも私は従うつもりはありません。そしてもちろんあなた方にも。
中立ということですか？
それはどうでしょう。
Her lips curl into a suggestive smile. There she goes, dodging the question again. Her two personalities have very different goals and different ideas about how to reach them. While I'm wondering what to ask next, Senpai suddenly blushes.
ですが初めてですわ、こんな気持ち。かける様には霊属してもらいたい、そう思っています。
は？霊族？
率直に申しますが、私あなた様に惹かれております。
え？
は？まさしくあなたは白馬のナイト。私と共にエデンを築くにふさわしい。
白馬の
王子の次はナイトときましたか。あのような優しいお言葉をかけてくださる殿方は
今までいませんでしたわ。
Well, you said the same thing in the other chapter,
ときめきましたわ。
even when I didn't say anything to you before.
え、あれだけでちょろ先輩ちょろ。おいこら、ニーにも何まんざらでもない顔してんの。
え、してる？
ニヤニヤしてる。
I hurriedly hide my expression with my left hand. But like, come on! No one's ever said something like that to me and meant it. I don't know about she menting it though. You can't fault me for being happy about this.
どうでしょう、かける様。二人きりの理想郷を作るというのは。
いや。
何照れてんだよ、はっきり断れよ。
いや、照れてるわけじゃ。
ほら、みゃーこ先輩もキレ気味でしょうが。
そんなつもりは。どうですか、かける様。私、束縛は嫌いですが、あなた様であれば首輪は鎖も受け入れますわ。
いや、そういう趣味はないっすね。
そうですか。残念です。
She backs off surprisingly easily and smiles at me coolly. She narrows her eyes and meets my gaze.
ですが、どうか忘れないでくださいましね。私にはあなた様を永続させる力があるということを。
My grin vanishes in an instant. That must mean
それが先輩の能力。
誘惑っていうか魅了。
あるいは洗脳。当たらずも遠からずですよね。
she gives us that suggestive smile again. I can't tell if we're actually incorrect or if she's just trying to lead us off the trail. She's impossible to read. If her power allows her to enslave others and she's willing to use it on a whim, then this personality of hers is incredibly dangerous.
もっとも、あなた方に協力するつもりはありませんが、敵対するつもりもありませんの。いつかはかける様の心を私のままにいたしますが、能力を使わずとも私のこの魅力をもってすればたやすいこと。
Not in the other route.
言っちゃったよ。魅力って自分で言っちゃったよ。何してんの？脱ぐの変態なの？
脱ぐのは構いませんが、できればかける様と二人きりにしていただきたいですよね。
だからいちいち照れるなよ。免疫ゼロかよ。
ゼロだよ。
切れた。怖い。この人童貞丸出しで怖い。
お二人とも出て行ってくださいますか？
出て行きませんけど、ここ私ん家ですけど。
私もまだ洗い物があるので。あら、空気の読めない方々ですよね。
何？疲れる。こっちの人格疲れる。
高坂先輩が苦労しているのもわかる気がする。
If Kakeru just flatly denies her, like, this wouldn't be happening.
何か勘違いされているようですよね。勘違い？力が女王という私が全てあの子が望んだこと。私の言葉はあの子の言葉。私の望みはあの子の望み。おとなしいあの子ならば許せるのだと。甘い考えは捨てた方がいいですよね。
Kusaka-senpai collects her bag and gets to her feet. She smooths her uniform and bows politely to us. She might be right about that.
では、おいとまいたしますわ。お食事ごちそうさまでした。とても美味しかったですわ。 お粗末様でした。
かける様、次は二人きりで私のミサをあなた様に捧げますわ。
ミサ。おお。
Sorry, girl, I'm not into loose women.
おうじゃねえよ、もっと毅然としろよバカニーニ。
うっせえよ。
With a victorious smile, she turns her back to us and glides out of the living room. There's a sound of the door opening and closing, and then at last she's gone.
濃かったなキャラ。普段の先輩と違って自信たっぷりだったね。
そしてニーニダサい。アプローチされて照れるニーニクソダサい。
I agree, Sora. He's always been weak, sadly, with women.
うるせえよ。いきなりのことで対応できなかっただけだ。
I mean, if you really didn't want it, you would have responded the same way I did, Kakeru. Clearly, you sadly want something along those lines. I jump off the bed and plop down next to Sora, but I can't really blame him, as I said. Even someone of my age, I think it's very difficult for someone to understand love. The fact that love and lust are two sides of, the same coin. I personally believe I understand my lust a lot more than I understand my love. So every time I feel something towards a certain character from these visual novels and whatnot, I first try to figure it out whether or not it's lust first, and not love. Because, I understand my own lust. But I don't really understand love all that much. Yeah, maybe I am a bit of a sad sack, but still.
人格の交代は一瞬で済むんだな。
そうだね。急に変わったね。どうしてだろう。
そりゃあニーヤンが追い込んだからでしょう。
No, if going by what she said, she wants that to happen. So the fact that she changes means that she kind of wants to trick us? To enslave Kakeru, I mean? Because she enjoys what we said to her? I don't know.
追い込む？俺が？
優しい言葉かけたからテンパっちゃったんでしょ。それでコロッと言っちゃったんでしょ。ちょろいわ先輩、ちょろいわ。
いや、そんなことで。
でも男性って高坂先輩にとって怖い存在のはずだから、新見くんが優しくてびっくりしたんじゃないかな。それでいっぱいいっぱいになっちゃって。
人格交代か。俺のせいか。
そうだよ、ニーヤンの、いや、かける様のせいだよ。
やめろ、言い直すな、やめろ。
あの子って言ってた。高坂先輩ももう一人の自分って言ってたし、別人格の区別はしっかりあって記憶も共有してるのかな。
霊族ってさ、奴隷にするってことでしょ。朝の人たちってそういうことでしょ。
だろうな。少なくとも堂々とした人格の方は自由に力を使ってる。ためらいなく。
Compunctions. God, these words.
やっばいな、もう一人のはるか先輩。
敵対するつもりはないって言っていたけれど、
信用したいところだな。リグベーダにもあまり興味はなさそうだったな。
でもあれだよね、悪人ではなさそうだなって思った。悪女っぽかったけど。
どうだろうな。おとなしい方の先輩は素直に悪い人じゃないって思えたんだが。
You don't know that. You don't know what they're truly thinking.
はぐらかしてたけど中立っぽいし、うまく情報流してくれないかな、あっちの。
普段の先輩なら聞けば教えてくれそうだね。
それであいつらの計画や能力を知れたら万々歳だな。とりあえず一歩進んだと考えるべきか。
そうだね。別人格はともかく高坂先輩とはいい関係を築けると思う。
男子に我慢ゲージ削られなかったら普通に話せるっぽいし、あれだね。ニーにはできる限り接近禁止だね。
そうした方がいいかもな。
人格変わらない限りいつもテンパってて可愛いし。あ、みやこ先輩ごちそうさまでした。
そうだそうだ、お片付けしなきゃ。
I'm really interested in what actually made her become this way though, like Kosaka senpai. Because it would need to be a lot of build up to make someone like this. It would need to also be like, you know, there would be no one in her family or in her childhood to be able to lead her into the right way. But I don't know, we'll see, I guess. I'm really interested in what shaped her into the person she is.
手伝うよ。
いえいえ、私がやりますので。
Kujo swiftly stacks up her plates and takes them to the kitchen. All that time waitressing, oh my god, has made her quite skilled at cleaning up dishes. Though I feel a little guilty for not helping, I stretch my legs out and relax.
ちょっとあれだな。ここに連れてきたのは失敗だったかもな。
なんで？
ニーニが、いや、かける様が襲われる。
だから言い直すなよ。やめろ。
連れ込むなよ、先輩よ。
しねえよ、アホか。
Sighing, I lean against my bed. While there haven't been any concrete developments in finding the user of the evil eye, we learned more about both of Kosaka-senpai's personalities, so I guess we've made some progress. Her normal personality's nice, but... her chastity, huh?
おい、にやけてんぞ、おい。
うっせえよ、にやけてねえよ。
えろ、こいつ、えろ。
こいつって言うな。何様だお前は。
妹様だ、敬え。今のは舌打ちかな？返しワンパターンか？
今日のお前特別うざいな。
そういうのやめて、マジ飛んでそういうこと言うのやめて。
I ignore Sora and pull out my phone. Considering how uninhibited Kosaka-senpai's other personality is, she'll probably end up telling Rick Veda that she met with us. The question is, what will they do with that information? I need to be ready to respond to anything they try. That's actually a good point, Kakeru. I have to protect Kujo and Sora.
おい、構え。退屈だからちゃんと私に構え。
黙れ。
ひどい。
Alright, is that the end of the day? It is. 4:29, so... if the pattern is the same, tomorrow is when we're actually gonna see the next victim of the evil eye. But okay, I think this is a good spot for me to end the episode.
セーブするよ。セーブしたよ。
We learned quite a bit. We definitely know the commander's name now. We still don't know anything about Ghost. We learned a lot about Kosaka-senpai. I still don't get a read on her too, though. The same with Kakeru. So I don't know how to think about her. Sora's probably right. I don't think she's inherently evil. Definitely pushy and selfish. But that also means that I believe that she doesn't mind, you know, throwing us out on the bus if the situation calls for it. So I wouldn't definitely trust that personality. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. Tomorrow, I still don't think... oh, no. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Amayui. So on the next episode, I still don't think we're going to get an 8 scene. I believe we're probably going to get one just like the first chapter, maybe in 2 more episodes. Because this is only the 3rd episode so far. But yeah. For people on YouTube that aren't on Patreon just yet, feel free to become a free member, because that's gonna be where I put first episode previews of future playthroughs. Okay, I'll see you guys on Patreon next week. Well, maybe in 5 days, technically. People on YouTube, I'll see you guys in 2 to 3 days. Tomorrow and the next day after is gonna be for Amayui for me. See ya!